That is a tasty, tasty beverage. Welcome back to Sippin With Sin, #1 podcast about 7 things, stuff important to everybody all across the world, across the astral plane, it's just across the stuff and things. Don't question it, accept it into your heart of hearts. Your soul of souls. Welcome back, another week, another episode 109. Wow, that's crazy to say. That's a lot of episodes. That's a lot of talking, a lot of rambling, and a lot of listening to the guy beside me here complain about things. So without further ado, speaking of him, let's welcome back Mr. Christian.
How's it going, everybody? Feels good to be back for the 109th episode. Like, good Lord, we've been doing this for a long time.
This makes me feel
We're going to keep doing it. I mean, yeah. We've definitely aged doing the podcast.
Speaking of aging, somebody will be aging. By the time this episode comes out, they'll have already aged. They'll have officially made it another year around the sun.
That's right. I'm going to be older as fuck, so here we are. I can't wait to be even older.
Is that an age?
That's an age. That's an age.
Okay. I mean,
yep. According to Urban Dictionary.
I guess that means I'm ancient as fuck.
We'll see, man. I mean, I used to be afraid of, like, getting older. Like, oh my God, I'm getting old and this hurts and this and that. But, like, man, like, it feels good to be alive. That's. I mean, it doesn't feel like that every day.
Older though. Like, I don't know if it's like after my birthday, if it's like a mental thing or what. But I was like, dude, I feel old. Like, I feel like I'm on the decline.
Yeah, I mean, we're no longer on the up and up.
Like, I feel like I've plateaued now. Like, my body's like, hey, listen, you've done a lot of dumb shit over your life, and now you're gonna pay for it. Like, we're gonna remind you of your stupid decisions.
Mortality,
yeah. And I'm like, man, I feel this old. I do.
It'd be like that, man.
I look like I'm young, but I feel old. I think I'm part vampire.
I feel like I look like hammered shit, but I might be okay. You guys let me know in the comments.
I want to know what hammered shit looks like. I need a picture of this.
I'll send you one.
Are we in like a Walmart bag? Like, what kind of
Walmart bag? I didn't even think of that at all.
Like a brown paper sack? Is it lit on fire?
Ooh, the lid on fire, man.
What is that movie where it's like they keep lighting? Is that Billy Madison? It is Billy Madison, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
where
Billy
she's
Madison.
Like, don't you put that? It's one of them flaming socks again. Don't you put that out with your boot? It's poop. I feel like that's me. That's my life. Like, literally, I just go around stepping on flaming bags of shit.
Flaming bags of poop? Yeah.
Welcome to the Sippin With Sin podcast. We're talking about stepping on shit.
As we do.
Yeah. All right, another episode, another week. Yeah, let's get into it. We like to talk about what we're watching, reading, listening to, or playing this past week. So I guess I'll start. I have not done a damn thing, really. I watched stuff that we'll talk about. I had plans to watch other things. It didn't happen because I am ridiculously busy. Past that, I've just done the Behind the Vocals podcast. Try to keep that schedule going, and then editing and all the stuff that goes with that, and starting slowly Halloween prep. I already know what I'm gonna be because I have to plan that out like way in advance because it is way too stressful, and I do not have. October is so busy. Like, all of Mrs. Sin's family, it feels like their birthday is in October. Literally, it's like every weekend. And every week is like a birthday. And I'm like, this is killing me. And on top of that, like, it takes me at least that month, if I don't start like at the end of September, to get everything ready. And then the day of like our shindig, our party, I'm still like finishing. Well, you've been here, you've seen it. I'm still like running around doing stuff. Oh, yeah. It is just, it's a very, very busy month. But got that planned. I'm super excited for it. I can't wait for you guys to see it. Pretty proud of it. I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna, I think it's gonna be a good one. Past that, I'm trying to figure out what book to listen to, so I'm definitely open for suggestions. I'm thinking about Carrie because I feel like Carrie's not long. I don't even know if Carrie's 10 hours, which kind of surprised me.
Yeah, Carrie's not long, and it's different from the movie.
Carrie was one of the ones I was thinking of. Shining is another one I was thinking of. Misery was one I was thinking hard about.
Ooh, Misery would be fun.
Have
It'd
you
be a
read
fun,
Misery? Is
fun
Misery
list.
good?
I read half of Misery years ago, and I actually own a copy of it. It's on the shelf over here,
I
but
might do
I haven't
Misery,
finished it.
but my plan is I want to pretty much for the month of August. I'm gonna go through. I'm doing like one essentially a month, just listening like free time or driving or something, um, or even at night. But I'm thinking in September, mid-September, or even September, I'm gonna start Pet Cemetery because I want to make sure like we're close. Pet Cemetery, I'm purposely saving towards closer to spooky season.
Listen, man,
Because
Pet
Michael C. Hall's
Cemetery.
narrating. Pet Cemetery is a good story already. I'm excited.
Pet Cemetery is my personal favorite Stephen King novel. I think it's the scariest one. And when I say that, here's the thing. I don't mean like, oh my god, I was shitting in my sleep. I couldn't go to bed. Like I just mean because we are parents. Like that book is like, man, this hits hard. Reading it though, it's like the scarier one
The thing
because
about
of the
it is it's
context.
literally it is like for audiobook 40 plus hours. That is a long
That
time.
is that
Which I
is
know
a
it's
week of work.
dude,
That's literally
how many
a
pages
not
is that
that's a
book?
week of work.
800? No, how many it's a lot.
No, it's several thousand pages. I don't remember the
It's
exact count
insane.
though.
It's like it is like a journey to go through. That would be like I would have to like block off. I don't even think I could do it, but I don't think I could have it finished by Halloween if I tried.
It took me a couple years to read that book.
I
So
mean, it would be I would have to like maybe the end of the year or something. I don't know. But yeah. So I got to figure out if you have any suggestions. There was another one. Cujo was up there. I didn't see Silver Bullet. I don't know how Salem's Lot is as a book.
different.
Is it good?
I mean, I liked it, but I don't know if you'll like it.
What is that supposed to mean? What are you trying to say?
I just like it's different enough to the point where you might not have a good thing to that.
I mean, honestly, I can't fully remember all the movie details. I need to rewatch it, truthfully.
That's fair. We were supposed to have a remake of that movie 2 years ago now, 3 years ago.
Is it this year or is it next? I don't know. Is it even coming
It
out?
keeps at this point. I'm not even holding my breath.
I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, past that, that's about it. I've not done anything exciting. I've done like nothing this week except work stuff. What about you,
Definitely
Christian?
been
What have you
working.
been into?
Definitely been working. I've done a couple things, watched a couple things, read a couple things. Didn't really listen to much this week though, but I did finish from last week. Batman: The Caped Crusader as a series. I liked it a lot, man. I'm not gonna lie. I really, really like. The more that I sit and chew on that show, like I think I'm gonna rewatch it because it's a quick watch. Honestly, if I wanted to, I could watch it in a day. Like it's fast. It's 10 episodes, 20 something minutes each. You can get through it really fast. I love that show. Um, the atmosphere is good. Like after it took me a minute to get into like the voice of Bruce and Batman, but like I got into it. I really like what they did. There is a actually, if you haven't seen it, I probably shouldn't say that part yet. But I enjoyed the I enjoyed the reintroductions of certain characters, if you will, because they did change quite a few things to make it their own, and I respect it because this show isn't meant to be a derivative of the comic necessarily. It's meant to be its own thing. It's meant to invoke memories of the animated series, but not be the animated series. So I really enjoyed what I got from that. And like I said, the more I think about it, I like it. If I had to rate it, I would give it a solid 8 out of 10, bro. Like I couldn't give it lower than an 8, but I also don't want to praise it too high and give it like a 9, 10, because I don't think it's worth a 10. I don't think it's worth a 9, but definitely worth an 8. Solid 8 for me. I enjoyed it. Like I said, the only thing that would have made that better for me is I was able to get into the voice of Batman easier without thinking about it, and if the music was a little more bombastic like it was in the animated series. But other than that, man, fantastic show. I did watch more House. I've been slowing down a little bit on the House because I think I'm getting closer to the end of the series. So I'm trying not to just like burn through it and not really give it my full attention. I am still watching it, however. Um, The other thing that I've been watching, Sin, we've talked about this show before. I'm pretty sure we both watched it. I definitely have seen it. It's been years since I've seen it. The last time I remember watching it is when it was coming out, like 2011 through 2013, maybe. But I started rewatching Being Human.
Yep.
Do you remember that show?
Yep. I actually saw it on something the other day, and I was like, man, I wouldn't mind rewatching it.
Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime right now. It's
Is
on
that where
Prime.
because me and the missus saw it, and I'm pretty sure you told me about it, and I had started it, and then she was like, what are you watching? And then I got her hooked, and then we started watching it together. And she saw it, and she's like, wow, I haven't thought about that show in forever. And then she was like, it was good until a point, and then it got weird. And I was like, yeah, it did get weird, but I enjoyed it for the.
Which version did you watch?
I watched the American with what's his face, Sam
Whitwer.
Yeah, that one.
So when the show started, it was only in the UK. And I watched it religiously. It was like a week to week thing. I watched it as much as I could. I was downloading it religiously, watching it because it's like I said, it's a UK show. Came out on like BBC or whatever. So I would watch it, and then one of the main actors, was leaving the show. His name is Adrian, or no, not Adrian, Aiden Turner, and Aiden left the show because he was going to be in the Hobbit trilogy, which was a bigger deal. So he left the show to do that, and then one of the other actors that played another character, George, he left that show to be in another show that was also supposed to be bigger. So they kind of canceled it a little early, and it had like a really rushed ending, and they recasted a couple of characters. They didn't recast; they just had a different cast come in of different characters that played, the same kind of roles, and it wasn't nearly as good, right? But the first, like, I think 2 seasons of the show, maybe three. I think altogether it's 3 seasons long. But I watched the first season, like actually just finished it today, and I'm gonna go right into the second season, later on this weekend. But
I may
I
have to
really,
rewatch
really
it.
like
You
it.
know what? Something else, not to like interrupt, but something else I've thought about rewatching that I actually never finished, but you got me on, and it started getting very teeny bopper, so I think that's why I kind of fell off.
I think I know. I think I know what
Teen
it is.
Wolf.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it was gonna be
I
Teen Wolf.
love the one actor,
That
Dylan.
plays Superman.
No,
Oh, gotcha.
Dylan.
Dylan.
That was the first
Yeah,
thing
he
I'd ever
was.
seen him in, and I was like,
He
wow, I really like this kid. And then he's went
he
on
was
to be
supposed to be
Maze
Nightwing.
Runner and
O'Brien. Dylan
he's
O'Brien.
been, he's been in quite a bit of stuff. Maze Runner's like probably one of the bigger things he's done, maybe the
Yeah,
biggest.
he was in Teen Wolf. He was in Maze Runner. He was in Love and Monsters.
Yep,
He was in
I like
American
him.
Assassin.
Yeah, I remember that one. I
Mm.
like him, but that's another one I've thought about watching, but I know it gets very teeny, like. And when was it an MTV show?
It was.
Yeah, you could tell like the werewolf transformation and stuff was not the best.
Yeah, man. It definitely was a little different, and it got whiny and stuff. But I liked it because while I was watching this, like, I mean, both of us are really into werewolves, and there was like one of the only werewolf, pieces of media that you could really get into, especially for at the time. So yeah, like I've seen almost all of Teen Wolf, like the MTV series. I saw everything except
They
for
made a movie
the
too,
movie.
right?
Yeah, I didn't see the movie, but I saw everything else.
I don't know where we stopped.
And yeah,
I don't know where I stopped. I remember me and you used to talk about it all the time, and then I stopped somewhere and just never. I did finish
yeah. I
being
mean,
in the American version though.
yeah, like I've finished the American version of it too. I've seen both versions. I prefer the UK version
You told me
personally.
that before that you liked it.
Yeah, I really like that, and I mean, I'm probably always going to
Being Human
prefer
was
that
on
version of it.
Sci-Fi, I think.
It was sci-fi.
'Cause I remember we
originally,
used to like TiVo it or whatever back in the day. Like we used to,
TiVo. Yep.
dude, showing the age.
But yeah,
hell,
man.
that show is 2011, 20. I don't know. When did it come out? 20. It was
20. It was 2013. I believe.
2013. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
But yeah, they came out 2013. It came out like a year after the UK version, but they were making it like during when they announced that the UK version was being canceled. They also announced that they were remaking it for America. So they changed the name of some of the characters, and the reason why Sam Witwer, the vampire character, the reason why his name is Aiden is because that's the name of the actor that played
Yeah,
the
I remember
vampire in
that.
the UK show.
You had
In the
him,
UK
and then you
show, his name
had
was Mitchell.
Josh and
Yeah,
Sally.
Josh.
Is that
Josh
right?
and Sally, yeah.
Aiden,
Yeah,
Josh, Sally is American.
Mimi Siku was Josh, the guy that was in like what was it called? What was that movie called? Not Jungle to Jungle, but was it Jungle to Jungle? It was Jungle to Jungle. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But that movie with like Tim Allen. Anyway, yeah, it was Sally, it was Josh, and it was Aiden. But in the UK, their names are the vampire is Mitchell, the werewolf character is George, and the ghost is Annie.
Isn't there?
The,
Don't they put those names on somebody in the American? Isn't there a Mitchell the vampire in the American
probably
that shows up
I know.
or something? Like
I know,
just
like
the Easter egg.
I know the like the main bad guy for season one, like the evil empire. His name is supposed to be what was his name in the UK version? I literally just watched it. Now I can't think of it. Herrick. His name is Herrick.
I like that name.
But in the US version, the American version, they changed his name to Bishop for some reason.
I remember Bishop. Wow.
Yeah.
Kind of not off topic, but since we're talking about like these older supernatural shows, I guess is what you would call them.
Yeah.
Vampire Diaries. Did you ever watch that?
I watched a little bit of Vampire Diaries, but it, like Teen Wolf, got really whiny.
I was about
really
to ask
fast.
you, like, I've never watched it. I've heard people talk about it, but if it was more of like a soap style vampire, I didn't feel like that was gonna be my thing. Like it was gonna appeal to me.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what happened for me. Like it just became too much.
Yeah.
And I wasn't having fun watching anymore because it was really just, like if I wanted to watch something like that was more of a drama, then I would just watch True Blood, which in turn was a much better show.
Was it last year we rewatched True Blood? I think we talked about it on the podcast.
I remember we used to talk about True Blood all the time.
True Blood got wild,
and you got to watch the last season before me, and you told me about it, and I was like, "What?" I was so confused.
That's because True Blood. Honestly, the first season? Season 1 was pretty good, actually.
Season 1 was fantastic.
The problem that started was because there was a fan favorite. So season 2. Technically, Lafayette should have been dead. I think he dies early, right? In the books.
Yeah, Lafayette dies.
Which is fine. Like, Lafayette, they didn't really, like, that wasn't a problem. But they just started I don't even remember how many seasons there are. 6 or 7? Maybe more? How many is there?
Mm-hmm.
There's several.
I don't remember how many seasons or books there are. I do remember Lafayette's character earlier in the story, but he was a fan favorite. But I will say this.
They just started making everybody something, and that was my problem. Like, it almost didn't make anybody special because it's like, oh, well, we have werepanthers, and I'm like, fairies. I'm just like, bro, stop making everybody something. Shit, what else was there? Oh, my God. What was Lafayette's boyfriend's name? He was,
Oh, jeez. I forgot.
Oh, my God. What was he? It was like, it wasn't a witch doctor, but it was like,
He was some kind of
it started with like an
thing.
M or something. There was a name they gave, oh, it's going to bug me. They gave him, it was like, yeah. Everybody was something. Like, you couldn't just have like a normal person walking around Louisiana. But what I will say is I want my favorite character.
Didn't he die?
Probably.
Didn't that character die?
I'm about to Google what he was.
Lafayette's boyfriend. I remember he died, and Lafayette was super pissed.
Mrs. Sin's in chat. What was his name? He was the
That
nurse.
show
He was a nurse that
absolutely
took care
sucks.
of Lafayette's mom in the show.
Wait, which show absolutely? Oh, she's talking about True Blood. The
Yeah.
books were amazing, but the show sucks. I didn't read the books, so
I've
I
heard a lot of
disagree.
people say that.
But when I do read the books, I'll probably agree with you because I remember I loved True Blood up until
how
about
often
season.
is it though that someone says the show's better than the books? Though I don't think that ever really happens.
That's true. Yeah,
Wasn't he
I
a
think
Sean
I
or
loved
something?
True Blood up until
hold
about
on. What the
season
hell is
5.
he?
I think it was season 5 when I stopped caring.
I gotta look it up. I gotta look what he is. Okay. What other shows were like that? Hemlock Grove was another one.
Hemlock Grove, the acting in
Hemlock
that
Grove,
show
but
was
I kinda
atrocious.
I don't know.
I remember Bill Skarsgård's acting in that show was awful, but I watched it anyway.
Jesus was his name?
Yeah.
What the hell was
he?
he? Hold on. He's in something else. He's in Lucifer. No. What has he been in recently?
He's in a lot of shit.
He is in a lot of stuff. He's in something recently because I saw him. I was like, oh, look, it's dude. He was in Arrow? What?
Yeah, he was the main villain in one of the last seasons of Arrow.
I didn't know that. What else is there?
He was legitimately one of the best villains in Arrow, like of all time. He was fantastic. His name was Jesus though. It was like Jesus Velasquez or something like that. What was he? Because now I'm thinking about it. Now I won't look it up. He was some kind of witch though, wasn't he?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. It's a Brujo.
Medium?
Brujo. I was wrong.
Yeah, Brujo. That's just
He's
witch.
A Brujo.
But
it's
the male version.
He was okay.
Yeah, that just means witch, but it's like it's masculine instead of feminine. So yeah, it's just
he's a
witch.
Brujo. Wow. Why do I think it started with M? Yeah, it's like
you're probably thinking magic.
I guess, dude. I don't know. I'm old. Only good thing about the show, Brujo. Look, someone else said it in chat, and I'm behind. The only good thing about the show is Eric. Yeah, Eric Northman is a very big bright spot of that show.
Hold on. Wait.
I like Eric Northman.
The only good thing about the show is Eric. Come on, dude. Eric was such a bitch. Most of the series.
Bill is the bitch. Bill sucks.
I think no. I mean, but here's the thing.
Bill's a dick.
If you think Bill sucks, Bill sucks, and you think Bill's a dick, then you by proxy think that Eric is the same way. Because Eric is worse than Bill.
Bill's not a lovable asshole. Bill's just an asshole. Eric's lovable.
What? Bill is literally just the southern version of Eric. That's it. Eric is just a piece of crap.
I feel like they do. It's reverse. I feel like Eric starts off super dicky, like just awful. Like you can't trust him. And Bill's like, oh, I'm the Southern gentleman. Then all of a sudden he's like, I'm going to be president and shit and blah, 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 blah. And then it like Bill turns awful and Eric starts like an upward trend, like a redemption. Since Bill sucks in the books, Eric is equally amazing in the books. Christian.
Wait, what? Bill sucks in the books. Eric. Oh my God, dude. Also, if that's the case, I don't need to read the books then. I got what I need out of the show.
I mean... And this Bill, what Bill's known for is sucker.
No, nobody was mad at Bill until Eric, like a jealous ex-boyfriend, was like, well, Bill's the reason why this happened to you because he made a deal with this one bitch and did all that. And I'm just like, Eric, you've been doing the same shit.
That's how vampires roll in. He made a deal with this one bitch. That's how vampires do. That's their transactions.
That's practically.
Eric, so we have to talk about one character that gets shit on. I liked him, and then how they did him, I was like, that made me I don't even care.
You're talking about the dude that turns into a dog or whatever?
No.
You're talking about Alcide. You're talking about Alcide.
Alcide, all show, you're like, he is this good guy. He's trying so hard just to do the right things. He's torn about all this, and then he goes through all this shit. I don't even know how much stuff he survives with vampires and fairies and brujos and what was that one chick that was wearing like the cow head or whatever? You remember her?
Barely, dude.
She had
But
like all
Joe,
over
what
like having orgies and stuff around her.
they did do Alcide wrong
And
as
he gets
hell.
straight up popped in the head one time and he's dead. And I was like, you gotta be shitting me. You have done this character for how many seasons as like a main character with these storylines and he gets capped and it's over. It's like, oh, werewolf shot in the head, done. I'm like, this is some bullshit.
I know that the actor Joe Manganiello, he really hated that Alcide died, like in real life. He talked about it
He
on
could die,
interviews and stuff all
but
the time.
they just how they killed him was really shitty. Like it was just like, wow, that really just took away. Like somebody could have just shot him in the head like way earlier, and that would have been it.
Mrs. Sin just said something that I forgot about. I remember hearing this, but because I haven't read the books, I forgot. But she said that they all have different endings in the books. They're much better endings than the show. And I remember hearing this because I actually wanted to read these books, but this was at the time where I was trying to like go to the library and get a bunch of books instead of having to buy shit. But like they never had the first three
What are they
books.
called? They're not
They were
called
always
True Blood.
gone.
They're called
They're called the Sookie Stackhouse something something.
I don't think it was called that. I thought it was called something.
It's like a set of her diaries or some shit, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember what they're called.
But like maybe I'm wrong on that. I might be thinking of it. It's the Sookie Stackhouse. Damn. Now I gotta look it up because I'm gonna keep thinking about it. Shoot.
What other shows were there around this time? Have you noticed how the supernatural?
They're called the Southern Vampire.
There
Mysteries.
you go. I knew it wasn't just called Sookie Stackhouse.
Yeah, that's like one of the name of like. No, the first one I think is called Dead Ever After. It doesn't matter.
Southern Vampire. Dude, what's up with everybody always putting vampires in Louisiana too? Can we talk about that? Anne Rice.
Yo, I don't. That was like a thing.
Who's the author of the Southern Vampire? I don't even know.
It's like Charlene Harris.
What?
Charlene Harris. That's her name.
Are people infatuated with like Southern talking vampires?
Suki. I don't know.
That's the only thing you'll get out of that show. That is like the most.
I
remember, you have Walking Dead and Coral, and then you have True Blood. And Suki.
It's like 13 books or so. Can't remember, but I've read them at least 3 times. I feel that I will read those books because I mean, how can I not? It's right up my alley. So of course I'm going to read them, and I'm going to continue talking about what I watch and all that stuff here in a second because we got on a long tangent. But I do remember Bill was forced to make.
Are you still trying to justify Bill? Are you really still trying to like make Bill a good guy?
Nobody's good in that show. Nobody's good except for maybe Lafayette. He's not even good. Nobody's good.
Giving praise to one of the best characters in the show. One of the funniest characters in the show.
Which is
Pam. Pam is hilarious.
Pam is hilarious. She is.
Pam is an asshole too, like all the other vampires. But
Pam is a piece of garbage.
But she's hilarious. She's so funny. The way she does stuff. Can't believe you're trying to justify Bill. I'm disappointed.
What do you mean? That I'm talking about how Bill doesn't suck any more than Eric sucks. But then you got people trying to convince me that Vegeta is the best character in Dragon Ball, and I'm just like, no, he's not.
Come from?
I hear people talking about it all the time, and that's where it came from. I'll die on the hill that Vegeta is not even top 3 characters. You know, that's not fair to say because most people when they think about Dragon Ball think about strength and shit. So yeah, he's top 3. But Vegeta's so annoying, bro. One of my favorite things ever is when he fought Frieza before he could go Super Saiyan and all that shit, and Frieza just beat the dog piss out of Vegeta. He mollywopped this dude, and I loved every second of it because Vegeta. I will give him this. Vegeta knows how to talk that shit, bro. He be talking so much stank to people. And then he talked too much to Frieza, and Frieza beat the taste out of his mouth. He crushed a rock on his chest. I remember he had him hung essentially by his tail and was just beating his kidneys out with his fist, and he was peeing blood and shit. Like anyway. I need a vampire
Oh
series
my
starting Xavier
god.
Aladdin.
No, we are not going down that rabbit hole. That dude, man. He
Wait,
is
who is
as
this
he's
person?
where is he from in Louisiana? He played at
I
South
gotta
Carolina, I think. But
I gotta
man,
look
that
this
dude's
person up.
accent is thick. He is from he played University of South Carolina.
Oh. That's why I didn't know who that was.
Hold
He was a
on, where
football player.
they did a thing like so he's a rookie at he plays for Carolina and they asked him about the weather and this dude's Louisiana accent is so thick. He was talking about some rain and all this other stuff and people are like, "We need him to do the weather every day." So now it's like a social media thing. People are trying to interview him everywhere and get him on there cuz he just where is he from? Is he from South
From the
Carolina? Wait, what? This dude's just got that bad. Like this dude's country accent. That's not even like a Cajun. Oh my. Oh my.
All right. I gotta get. All right, we gotta get back into it.
Wow, I was way off. I thought he was from because he like the
Um,
way he was talking reminded me of dude from Waterboy. It was just part of it sounded like gibberish, and I was like, "What the hell is he saying?" Yeah, like it was just like I was like, "What the hell did he just say to me?"
So I you can if you're watching this on YouTube or whatever over here pointing. I have for my birthday I got the vinyl for Godzilla minus one, so I was super excited about that. I did watch this movie called Ava starring Jessica Chastain. It came out a while ago. It's pretty much she's an assassin and she gets blackmailed or not blackmailed. The company she works for turns against her. Same shit we've heard all before. The movie was an hour and a half. I'm never gonna get that hour and a half back. The movie wasn't garbage, but it wasn't like great either. Common was in it. Like it was just a lot going on that was not the best. And that movie clearly came out like around the time the original John Wick movie came out, and everybody was doing assassin shit for a little while. So there's that. But the big thing that I did that I finished over the week was I finished the entire run of the IDW Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic because it came to an end recently. So I finally got to read the end of that online, and I enjoyed it. And I'm going to collect all of those volumes at some point so that I can have the full story. But I did get to finish reading that, and it got real convoluted towards the end. And then they had this big story arc called the damn was that story arc called? It got on my nerves. The something war. It got on my nerves. There was a part where Shredder dies. They actually kill his ass, and then he gets resurrected. And then once he comes back to life, he becomes a good guy, and essentially their new sensei because Splinter passes. Like all kinds of shit happens in this comic, dude. It lasted like 150 issues. It was really good most of the way. There was some dull spots, of course, but I really like the way they introduced a lot of old school characters, new school characters. Um, Everybody always wants to split the turtles up. When you start telling like darker stories, they always want to split the turtles up. But it's really fun to read stories like that because we're so used to them being together. So when you split them up, especially how the story starts, like in a nutshell, without talking for an hour, when the story starts, the whole thing, there's three of them, and they're being trained by Splinter, and then Raphael's by himself, not by choice, but because he got separated when they were literal babies, like right after they got mutated, before they could like walk on two legs and shit. He got separated thanks to a cat who becomes a character named Old Hob, blah blah blah. But he was just literally like kind of homeless and was a street fighter, and he ends up meeting his brothers later on in the story towards the beginning for us, the middle for them, and learns how to be a ninja and stuff. But he still has all those anger issues and anxiety and all, being alone all the time because that's how he grew up. He meets Casey, they become best friends like they're supposed to, and all this stuff happens, and it's really cool to see. Venus gets introduced, the turtle that you see in the terrible like early 2000s late 90s live action Ninja Turtles series, the female turtle. She gets introduced. We get a brand new fifth turtle at some point. Her name is Jenica. And her character is actually pretty cool. What happens with her is she's a human who gets turned into a turtle because she gets hurt real bad and she's dying, and they give her a blood transfusion, which mutates her. She turns into a turtle as well. So she becomes like an official member of their team, like their sister, if you will. Um, I just really liked it, man. I'm definitely going to collect it. And at the time of this recording, they already they've restarted the IDW brand of the Ninja Turtles, but it is a continuation of what we already had. So, and this story starts off, all the turtles again are separated, and I haven't read it all yet, so I don't know like why they're separated. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how it works out, but I'm really excited to see this version of the turtles kind of do their thing and how that works. Um, and this guy Jason Aaron is writing it. I'm pretty and in Marvel, I believe. So like I'm excited to just get back into reading it. But I needed to finish the old stuff before I can get into the new stuff because I knew that it was a new story, but the same turtles, same continuity. They've been through the same stuff. So I'm really excited to like dive completely into that. But as far as other things that I've done, man, that's about it. And I guess we can talk about other shit, man. We went on like a 45-minute long tangent about
It
True
wasn't
Blood.
45
So
minutes. It's a little exaggerated.
I mean, it feels like it.
It's only like
It feels like it.
35,
Mm,
32, 31, 30 minutes. Something like that. All right, so where are we going? What's next? What are we talking about? What are we doing?
I think we can kind of jump into the meat and
We can
Or
jump
is it
into your mic
really
cutting
any-
out. Okay, what?
Don't you love every time
Every
get
time
excited
it's
about a
something
thing?
important, your shit cuts out. It's like,
Every
oh, did you
time.
hear the news that? And then we don't know what the news is. I was like, yep, you're right. No clue.
It never fails. Essentially, what I was saying is we
Meat and
can jump
potatoes.
right into the meat and potatoes that we're going to talk about, just because there's no news really this week. Deadpool's still doing great in the theater, so good for Deadpool. I haven't seen it yet. Spoilers are everywhere, so stay off the internet.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You
there's
really,
no real
they're
news.
bad. I'm glad I watched it because I would be pissed right now. And
Man,
since you already
can
know
imagine.
one character that's in there, have you seen that they're literally just a meme everywhere? Everywhere.
Unfortunately.
Like, it is rampant. Like, anywhere I go on the internet, I'm seeing it. I'm like, God.
It really sucks, dude. I'm not going to lie.
How much has it made at this point? Do we know? Deadpool.
I don't want to look because I might get even more spoilers.
Fair. Well, wait. I know it was over 200 and something mil opening weekend, I think. Like, it was doing really well. Highest R-rated movie opening weekend, maybe, or something, or close, or I don't know. Whatever. I don't want to give the wrong facts. But no, we had the finale of House of the Dragon this week. So, guess it's time to talk about that.
Do you have your notes, or does
She has no notes. Me and her had similar thoughts, and I don't know if you want them now or if you want to.
Yeah, go ahead, give me your thoughts, and then we'll get into.
I think the episode was flat. I think it was. I expected more. I think we both did, and then it kind of happened. And honestly, it felt like everything that we needed happened in the last 15 minutes, and everything else was like, okay. Just, I don't know. I don't think the finale was as strong as it could be. I was wanting more for the finale. I don't know what I was wanting. I was wanting more for the whole season as a whole, but it is what it is. If I had to rate it, the season as a whole, not just the finale, I would probably give it an 8. I'll give it an 8.
Okay. I mean, I think that's still really good. That's a testament to the show.
I think the first season's better, though. I like the first season.
The first season was more shit happening in each episode, and this season was more to the next, if you know what I mean.
I just feel like where we didn't really, like, we gained Dragon Riders, but we didn't really progress a lot. We got one Dragon battle, a little bit of death, and then it was like nobody really made the move. Like, pretty much everybody was like on the board playing the game, but no moves were really, really made. Like, I thought we were going to have more popping off this season. Like, we were going to have a couple more, like...
Moves were definitely made, but they were more because...
And you broke up. Moves are made, but they what?
They were definitely political moves.
I mean, yeah, and that's
In the
expected.
if you've so like I've read the book, your wife's read the book, so we know what's going to happen. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not looking forward to getting to the end of the series. I know they're changing a lot of stuff, and I'm hoping that they change some stuff for the better because the ending of the book is so just that's the best thing I can say without ruining anything.
I mean,
I mean, if you
there's really nothing to ruin other than how people die because if you've watched Game of Thrones, they're all dead anyways. Like this is the
yeah,
prequel to, this. It's like yeah.
is the ending to the book is such a downer, such a downer, and it's one of those stories where like everybody worth a damn doesn't it, or I'll stick by what I said. Pretty
I
much
mean,
everybody
everybody
worth
worth
a
a
damn
damn
doesn't
isn't
make
gonna
it.
make it by the time we get to where we need to get. Like everybody's gone.
Sure, yeah. Um, and we'll get into it. I think that yeah, you're correct. There were some things that happened this season that didn't need to be like episodes worth. Um, but the show,
There
like I
was good.
said,
No, I'm
well
not shitting
acted.
on it. There was good parts for sure. Like the dragon fight, really cool. The dragons, a lot of the dragons were really, really cool looking. Like they were genuinely like really cool things. I like that. There was just some stuff that was like, it kind of sucks. The whole Harrenhal thing. I get that it was to get Damon to a place where he's ready to do what needs to be done. Whatever.
Mhm.
But it kind of sucked because it removed him from all of the things that are going on, and he's like off in his own world over here, not with the events going on. Yeah, I don't know. The Aemon thing is cool, or Aegon, excuse me. Like that'll be interesting how that plays out. I'm sure we'll talk about all that in a minute.
Mhm.
I think the coolest part of the finale was probably Damon's vision. That was really dope. I did like that.
Fair, fair. I mean,
I want to
obviously,
piss
I'm
you off
gonna.
right now, but I don't want to get you rolling before you get in it.
Yeah, maybe not. Let me get into it. Let's go ahead and get into it. I have notes, and for those of you listening, I have about a solid 2 pages of notes,
Good
and for
God.
those of you looking at it on YouTube or live, you can see those notes
Christian,
there.
I'm
I
gonna need
got
you to
notes on the back
stay
full
off
page.
of the writers thing, just writing down the whole damn episode.
I mean, there's some things I can cut out here, but let's get it. Let's start it right now. Let's start it up. When we start the episode off and you look at the tapestries, there are some additions essentially to the tapestries. This time you just see it shows more of the Vagar versus Rhaenys and her army of dragons. You see Caraxes, who has Daemon. You see Jace's dragon Vermax. You see Ulf's dragon Silverwing, Hugh's dragon Vermithor, Baela's dragon Moondancer, Rhaenyra's dragon, which is Cyrax, and then Adam's dragon, which is Sea Smoke. So you see all of them in the tapestry, and that's just how that goes. And then obviously you have um, what's his name? Aegon. Sorry, not Aegon. Aemon is on top of all of that. Is like the victor, if you will. So, very telling stuff. Um, After that, we see a Targaryen ship that's docked. Tywin Lannister, the master of ships, is doing a parlay with the Triarchy, which is a collection of the three free cities. You already knew that. Um, it's the same people that Damon and Corlys and Laenor actually were fighting at the Stepstones in season 1 with the crab feeder and all that shit. That's what that is. That's who those people are. Excuse me. In the book, they have 91 warships. 90. They got a lot of fucking warships. We'll say that. I think it's 90. Whatever. Correct me in the comments. Um, they want the Stepstones though. They want like the deal is they will ride with Tywin Lannister for the Greens if they give them the Stepstones and if he rides with their commander. I think the name of that person was I forgot from the books. Lothar. I don't remember the first name of that character. I don't remember her first name, but I don't know her last name is Lothar because it reminds me of Luthor from Superman. But anyway, Tylan accepts knowing that he could be hanged if something goes wrong. because Aemon is obviously going to get pissed about this, but how pissed we don't know because he's got a lot of shit going on right now. He also has the best Lothar in battle, so there's that. Aemon burns down Sharp Point with Vagar. Um, then they cut like pretty much right after that to when you see the city burning, they cut to the burned king Aegon. Larys wants him to flee at least until the war is over, and then Aegon at first doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want everybody thinking that he's weak. He also, for some reason, tells Larys that when he got burned, his junk literally blew up like a hot dog, or I think the word he used was a
That I'm not gonna lie,
sausage.
that was kind of funny, just because it was out of nowhere. It's like my dick burst. Like
Yeah,
what?
it burst into flames like a sausage. I was just
I was just
like,
like, wow, that's Lars is probably like, I like feet, bro.
yeah, I'll not tell you. I'm a foot guy. That shit was hilarious. Like just telling somebody your dick blew off and fired, like that's being real vulnerable right now. Anyway, we find out that Lars moved all his money to Harrenhal. I'm sorry, from Harrenhal to the Iron Bank of Bravos. And for all of you like Game of Thrones fans, you saw the Iron Bank and how sturdy they are with their money. Rhaena, after abandoning her two half brothers, is hunting for a dragon. Because we see that in the book, though, Sheep Stealer is known to live on Dragonmont, Lair, and Dragonstone. So they changed where the dragon is found in the show and who rides the dragon. There's that; those two things are definitely very, very different. Remember last episode when everybody was like so on Ulf's side because he found a dragon and became its new rider? Well, now he's a piece.
He's
Oh,
annoying as hell. He's got to be one of the first ones to die. But then again,
listen,
being that annoying, he's
listen.
probably gonna be one of the last ones to die because he's too
It's Game
stupid
of
about it.
Thrones. Everything. So this episode, like, this isn't even my notes. This is just me telling you, Sin. Everything that you think Ulf is going to do because he is feeling himself, he's going to do it. So, like, I hope you don't like him because you're going to hate him season 3. Like,
I just
absolutely hate him.
He just is so arrogant now that he's like, oh, I've got Targaryen blood. On the flip side, though, I already liked him, and I like him more. Hugh. Hugh is really cool, and I feel
Yeah.
like he's very noble, I guess. Like, dude's just, I'm here to
In his
help.
own way, sure.
Yeah, I like
In his
him.
own way.
But he's got
I
that
don't want
range, so
to.
I'm foreseeing him hopefully do some cool shit. I hope. Could be wrong.
That's fair.
I also hope Adam does cool shit. I'm pulling for Adam pretty hard. I like him.
I mean, I do like Adam, and I really don't want to. Never mind. We'll get into it. We'll get
Okay.
into it. Um, let's see. Ulf Ulf and Jace get into it, and Ulf is super disrespectful at the table and just in general. He's like I already said, he's feeling himself way too much. Corlys tells Rhaenyra that Adam can be trusted, essentially. And then he tells us that he renamed his ship from the Sea Snake to the Queen Who Never Was, because now he's honoring his wife, who he should have been honoring this whole time because she was a badass. Whatever. Um, Essentially, he's just saying that he finally understands that all of the stuff that he's been doing for himself, not for his family, not for his wife. And that's only literally just because his family's dead at this point. Like that's what that is. Um, then we see Simon Strong in Harrenhal, who I don't know if you've noticed this, but like he is a fashion icon. Every single time we see Simon Strong, he's got on a new like kingly looking fit. I don't know if you've noticed that.
There's somebody I want to ask about because I noticed it in the finale and I pointed out to Mrs. Sim, but when we get there, I'll bring it up. I feel like this person is going to turn, but I
Okay.
don't know their name. And well, actually, it's not too far off. It's pretty much it's with Damon and stuff. So I'm sure when you get there, I'll bring it up, that whole thing. But there's somebody
Mm-hmm.
I'm really questioning based on how they acted during things, and it wasn't
I
like
know exactly
plot
what you're
to.
talking about.
Okay.
I know exactly what you're talking. We'll get there.
Yeah.
And just to go ahead and tell you now, I don't remember how that person's story ended, but I'm pretty
You know what
sure
I'm
what
talking
you
about, though,
think is
right?
going to.
Like when
Yeah,
everybody's
what you.
bending the knee and shit, they like
Yeah, yeah,
literally
yeah,
you
yeah,
see
yeah,
them go
yeah,
from
yeah,
the
yeah.
front of the room, they just start
To
walking
the
to the
back.
back.
They
And I was
just
like,
disappear.
that's
Yeah.
not a good sign of shit to come. If
Yeah,
somebody's
what you
like,
think's gonna
everybody's all
happen with
excited,
that's
I'm
gonna
dipping.
happen.
Yeah. I
So
don't know
yeah, it's
who is
exactly
that.
what you think. I'll tell you in a second. We'll get there. We're gonna get there here.
Okay.
Um. So after that, Damon tells he's literally right here in my notes. It's Sir Alfred Broom is who that is.
Okay, who is that person? You see him, and I still don't know who the hell that is.
He's the guy that was on the Black Council with Rhaenyra, pretty much telling her you need to
But
go
what
and get.
is he though? Like, where's he from?
Oh! He's from
Is he a
shit.
Kingsguard? Is he a
No.
family? Like, is he a head of a family?
He's not the head, but he's a part of one of the families that pledged their allegiance to Rhaenyra.
See, it's been bugging me who he is, but I don't trust him at all. We should just go in and cut his head off. Where's Damon? Damon needs to just pop that head off.
Jesus Christ.
What? That's how I would rule. Be like, all right, oh, you don't want to partake with the rest of us and be, all joint. Come here, let's just piss this whole
I got
family
you.
off.
Simon Strong tells Damon that Sir Alfred Broom has arrived from Dragonstone. They go outside in front of the weirwood tree, and then Broom starts immediately hearing sounds and shit. And Damon's just like, yeah, we hear shit out here all the time, pretty much, like blowing it off, like whatever. Damon has the sound. Excuse me, the sound that Simon Broom hears before he starts talking to Damon is the same sound that Damon's been hearing all season long before he has a dream, like a weird vision or whatever. So I thought that was a cool little turn, and then Damon just blows it off because he says that this place will drive you mad or whatever. I also think that that sound could mean that Alice Rivers is like either present or like listening in because we don't really know what all magic she can do because they don't really explain that. So I feel like she might just be listening in at this point to see what's going on, um, which makes a little bit more sense right after. But I'll tell you this here in a second. But Alfred pretty much tells Damon that his men are fully ready to turn on Rhaenyra and follow Damon if he's willing to do it. But notice Damon never answers his question. He just like smiles and walks off. Damon demands that I'm sorry, not Damon, Aemon. Aemon demands that Helena mount her dragon and follow him into battle. He even tries to force her. He puts his hands on her, like all kinds of shit. Allison intervenes, and she doesn't allow this to happen. Allison later, after this, goes to Maester Orwyle, Orwyle, and asks him to grant her passage to Dragonstone
Did
without
you
being
did you
seen
see
or
the
noticed.
thing about Allison and each one of her kids representing a certain
Sin?
emotion, I guess, if you
No,
will?
I didn't see that. I thought it
It's
was a sin.
like um Helena is innocence, or like that part of her. Aemond is the rage, and then I'm trying to remember what Aegon was. It was something like, I can't remember what his was now, but
Ignorance, maybe.
it wasn't ignorance. It was kind of like it was along that, not arrogance maybe, or it's something along that line.
Hmm.
But I was like, that's kind of interesting how that happened.
I mean, I didn't see the thing that you're saying,
I
but
wish I
that
could
does
find
kind
it
of make sense.
now.
If you do find it, send it to me. After that scene, we see that Kristen Cole is holding Allison's favor and is confronted by Gawain Hightower, Allison's brother. Um, he's pretty much telling them in a nutshell, like, I know y'all been fucking. You've been literally tapping my sister. Like, I gotta kill you now. I'm sorry. And he doesn't get the answer that he thought he was gonna get. Pretty much, Kristen Cole's just like, she saved me twice, from myself and from the Hangman's axe, like all kinds of stuff. Because remember, he's gonna kill himself season one, bash that dude's face in. He got mad about Rhaenyra like being with somebody else or whatever. So
Yep.
she saved him from that, and then she also saved him when he was gonna like turn himself. after it was revealed that he was sleeping with Rhaenyra, he was gonna turn himself in, and he saved him from that too. So there's that, and he doesn't even react to Gawain having a sword at his neck. Like, he's so depressed at this point, he just doesn't even care. But he does say something that interests me. He says, "To die." I think. Hold on, did I write it down? I did. To die will be a kind of relief. So like, he just really doesn't care anymore. And then he pretty much tells him like, uh, his virtue is a lie. Him wanting women so much is a lie because he's not been um, clean, if you will. Like, all the stuff that he's been doing just doesn't make any sense. And he says, "Perhaps all men are corrupt, and honor is a mist that melts in the morning." I thought that was pretty cool. And after he said that, Gawain just like gave up and sat next to him on a log. It was just like, "Bro, you need some help." So I was like, I've never seen a character get talked down so quickly by somebody's depression. Like, it was crazy. But he was telling Gawain, like, in this speech, like, maybe all men are terrible. We're all trash. He was like, we both literally just fought in a war and saw dragons come and just burn people like nothing. Like, we are nothing compared to these
I
dragons.
mean, what did you
But
think? What did they
I
think
mean,
would
exactly.
happen?
Exactly. I'm just like, why are you depressed now?
You've seen
You
how big
wanted
a
this.
dragon is. You know what they can do. Why is this a shock that, oh, they burn people and they fuck shit up and they're huge and I can't do shit on the ground with a sword?
That's just like me going to a grizzly bear with a butter knife, being like,
What's up?
I tried to kill him and it just didn't work. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
like
saying? Like,
it's.
what?
I mean, what did you
Get
think would
out
happen?
of
It's like,
here.
oh, we should get dragons involved. Yeah, now you did. You done fucked up. What, dummy? What the hell?
Now you did.
I mean, it's just stupid. He's
Uh,
just stupid. When does he get eaten? Who is gonna be the person to allow their dragon to eat him? Because they need to get on it.
he doesn't get killed by a dragon.
All right, well then I'm not watching this show. I'm done.
Yes, you are. Shut up.
I'm not. Not unless Ned
Thailand.
Stark comes back from the dead.
Well, he's not even alive yet.
Well,
Not
he's
born
about
yet.
to be. I don't know. He's coming back.
Thailand fights
Lady
Lothar in the
Stoneheart,
mud.
make it happen.
Oh my god, fights him in the mud, and at first he's not really fighting back, but then he kind of lets loose and impresses Lothar, who later wants him to impregnate his wife, plural. We
Wives.
don't know how many wives,
Yeah, he was like, how
but
many
he has
wives?
wives.
That's when you know he was
So
thinking about it. He was like, all right, one. Then he was like, wait, how many we gotta do? What? What?
also,
Yeah, that's what.
Lothar wants to fight Corlys again because during the battle at the Stepstones for season one, we didn't really see all of this battle, but Lothar was one of the opposing groups that they fought, and they lost. So she definitely wants to fight Corlys again.
What
That's one
house would you
of the
be
main.
if you had to pick a house?
That's a great question, man. I don't know. I would like to say I would like to be a part of the Valerians because like those people are actually black people, but I ain't got no business being on a ship. So there's that. I'm not Salton
Can I
Sea.
say that he looks awesome with the white beard and the white dreads? Like it looks
Dude,
really good.
that's what I want to look like when I get turn white. That'd be dope.
Okay, what house? Because I'm just gonna
Um,
say there is no chance in hell I'm gonna be a Lannister. Just Lannisters just suck.
no.
I don't want to be
Not
a
only do
Lannister.
they suck,
They look
but like
like
Landis,
someone that bought a character on like an MMO and rolled up with like fancy gear, and then they just suck.
yeah, actually,
They're riding up with
yeah.
like this fancy armor. It's like, oh, look at my army. We're rich. We always pay our debts. Ha ha. Whatever. Nobody cares.
Ask me that question again after this because I actually want to get into that and think about that answer. So let's circle back to that. That's a
My
really
answer
good
is easy.
question. But what's yours?
No, I'm not telling you right now. Now, since you want to circle back,
It's Stark, isn't it? It's Stark.
hell yeah, it's Stark. I'm gonna be up in
Yeah,
the
that's
north.
what I.
I'm gonna wear my black cloak. I'm gonna be happy as hell in the snow. Winter can come all at once. I don't care.
I was gonna make a dirty joke there, but I didn't.
Good. I'm so
Um,
glad you matured.
thank, thank you.
I swear, you're gonna
Bela
say like
talks.
I'm gonna be. You want to be like a damn what's his name? Tully. You're gonna be like, I want to be a Tully.
Tully? I don't think I want to be a Tully. I'm
You're
good
gonna
on
say
that.
something off the wall, like I'm gonna be like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Ooh, maybe
What?
a. Oh man, what's the name of that house?
Are you after the flayed man?
What's his name? No, 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 no. Um, damn it! I can't believe I can't remember this name. Um, I, dang it! Now I gotta look it up. See, now you're making me look it up. Um, it's the Sand Snake people. What's the name of their house?
Oh, no. Oh shit.
Martells,
Martell.
the Martells.
Yeah.
Yeah, House Martell probably for me.
Why?
I just feel like that's the best fit. I mean, because like I want to say Stark, but I don't do well in the cold, so that can't
So you
be
gonna?
it.
I don't want to be
And
in the hot. Like I don't want to just die all the time in the
I
heat.
mean, they're not out there just dying, so
They're out there dying.
I think I'd be.
You don't think Stark's got? If I'm part of House Stark, I'm sitting by that nice cozy fire with my servants, running around
No,
stoking
bruh.
it,
It's
bringing
your
me some soup.
servants. Wow. Wow.
I mean, do they not have royal servants? They do. What do you mean?
Wow.
Listen, do they not? Answer me that. Does Ned Stark not have somebody coming around?
I mean, I didn't see Ned Stark with anybody
You
coming
a
around.
damn lie.
I saw his
Knowing that
wife
all
did
these
though.
houses have somebody. What do you want me to call them? A butler? Maids? What do you want me to call them? These people run around making them food over here stoking. They ain't building their own damn fire. You know damn good and well Ned Stark's not walking around that armor and like, let me build a fire real quick, honey.
I don't think I can. I'm just saying,
Sansa
like, if
ain't
I'm being
building shit.
honest,
Sansa don't have sense
I
for
would,
the first however many seasons to figure out how to do a damn thing.
I would love to say House Stark, but I know as soon as it got cold, bro, I'm not gonna be able to go travel out on a damn horse with a fur coat on and be cool. I know I'm not gonna make it. I'm
I mean,
not
I
gonna
don't
make
know.
it.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine a Black Stark with dreads riding around out there with like some shit. What are they called? Wildlings. Dude, I went blank on them. Can you imagine like going out there or riding up to the wall and be like, "Hello," and whatever in the fuck voice you're gonna do out there on a horse?
I mean,
you're gonna look majestic. Probably gonna have a sword you can't even like unsheath. It's probably gonna be too damn big. You're gonna be like, I want Ice Junior.
Looks wise, I want to just say Valarian, just because it just makes the most
Dorne
sense.
might be cool, Mrs. Sin said in chat.
I mean, I think Dorne would be dope. Like, I agree with you, Miss Sin. I think Dorne would be dope. I feel like if I could choose it, I would probably just go ahead and straight up go Martell. But if I was going based off of how I look and how they look from the descriptions of the books and the shows,
What
then it
about
would be
Tyrell?
Valerian 100%.
Isn't that Highgarden?
I didn't say Tyrell, I said Martell.
I know. What about Tyrell? I'm giving you another option.
Oh, no, I don't want to be. Nah, they can keep that.
Damn. And why are you making me the bad guy, knowing damn good and well there's what would you like me to call him? What would you like me to call him?
Man, I speak the truth, dog. Speak the truth.
Dude,
we'll move on. We'll move on. We'll move on.
Derailed and tried to make me the villain in this. When they're in, what the hell?
We'll keep going. So, where was I? Bela talks to Jace. Rhaenyra has a feast for her new riders, and she tells them that she wants to burn 2 cities and its people. And Hugh and Bela were immediately like, they were looking at her like, "Are you fucking serious? You want us to just go and burn these places and kill these people?" But yeah, she definitely got some weird looks from Hugh and Bela, so be looking out for that. She says, "We must break the will of the enemy, or more will die in the struggle without end." That is her explaining away what she's about to do, which is burning these cities to cut off her enemies, essentially. So that's what the plan is. That's what they're getting ready to go out and do with. And then aside from that, Alice Rivers. Wait. right after she says that and they have this conversation, Rhaenyra gets a message. But that message is from Simon Strong. And it's pretty much telling her that she needs to show up at Harrenhal post haste because Daemon might be amassing an army for himself. He doesn't know. So that's pretty much what that note says if you didn't catch it from the episode. And that's why Rhaenyra fucking takes off immediately and she takes Adam with her, which I thought was interesting as hell that she took Adam. And then Jace also clocks this and is pissed off because she left him behind again. But she's leaving him behind because if Daemon was amassing an army for himself, Jace would have to go. Like it just makes sense. So he can't challenge Daemon. But anyway, um, after that, Alice Rivers waits for Daemon on his bed, by the way, which I thought was interesting. But if you peep it, it looks like she's been crying when he shows up and goes into his room or whatever. So they go outside by the weirwood tree again, and when they're out there, Damon looks over real quick and sees this like catches a glimpse of a hooded, not a hooded, like a hooved creature like creeping around in the background. Did you see that part?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you didn't catch that? Damn. So when him and Alice Rivers first get outside by the weirwood tree, there's a creature that's like hooving around in the background, and they don't show it very well. It's like a silhouette almost. And I immediately thought it was like one of the children of the forest, but the children of the forest kind of just look like scaly humans from what I remember, and they're like short. So that wouldn't make sense. And other than that, like mythical like creatures, I thought a Wendigo, but like I don't think Wendigos exist in George R. Martin's stuff, so it has to be one of the
Wendigos
children of the
exist
forest.
everywhere, but I'm not allowed to speak because you're just going to turn things around and make me a villain.
No, you're good. You're good.
Sky.
But anyway,
Man.
damn. So they do that.
How big was this thing?
I mean, it wasn't that big,
Wendigos
to be honest.
Big. They're not big. They're tall. They're like lanky usually.
Usually they are, but not all the time. But I mean, it's just I'm only saying Wendigo because it's probably one of the children of the forest. If I'm being real.
Do they have hooves?
Most likely.
They don't have hooves, do they?
No, they don't have hooves and they don't have antlers. That's what it was. If anybody thinks that they might know what it was, y'all let me know because I
Where's
legit
Mrs. Sin in
thought.
chat? Let's see what she thinks because I don't know.
Well, you let me know what she says in
Okay,
chat because
keep going.
Yeah, please tell me because I literally thought about that forever last night, and I literally came up with Wendigo, and I was like, that doesn't make sense. There's no Wendigos. Anyway, if I keep going, when they get to the weirwood tree, we notice that Damon doesn't scoff when she starts talking about omens and stuff, and it's because he's seen some things at this point. He's starting to accept what she's saying. So when he touches the weirwood tree, it starts to like bleed that red sap that comes out of it.
It
Also,
says green
real quick,
men is what I googled it and it said that it hints towards green men's involvement. Yeah, I don't know. That's all I got. I'm not sure. Now I'm intrigued.
I need to look that up more because I didn't even Google it. I just watched it.
Green men, would that not be is that them? Is that the same thing? Or is that something no, children of forest sought refuge and were protected by the green men. What the shit is the green men?
Aren't the green men the ones that showed him how to use the like forest magic and shit, if I'm not mistaken? I'm gonna look that up. That's actually really interesting to me.
We need to come back. I would definitely like to okay, I think they're similar to Children of the Forest. Can't remember what they're so yeah, there you go.
Okay, so I'm not wrong. I'm just
potentially green men ? If you're a listener, let us know what you think if that's right. I missed that. Now I need to rewatch it and see the green men silhouette if that's indeed what it is. Makes more sense than a Wendigo, like a Wendigo that they have out there.
Yeah, I highly doubt it's a Wendigo. That's just what I kept thinking of last night. I was tired. Not last night. When did that come out? Sunday? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Sunday. But anyway, I was tired too because I watched it so late.
Thinking about.
You were right about that. if you notice the tree that he touches, the weirwood tree that he touches, is made to look like George R. So I thought that was really cool.
Like
Just
the
him without his
face of it,
glasses on. The face of it, yeah. Also,
the man that will
I
never finish
said
the book
this.
ever.
He's never gonna finish these books, dude. Never.
No, he's not. I think he's gave up. I think he's just like hell with it.
He's just making money. What's gonna happen is,
He's old. How
and then
old
he's
is
gonna
he?
Die. He's old. He's old as fuck. He's
Is
just
he in
gonna
his
fucking
60s?
die.
No,
Whenever.
in all seriousness, he's what, at least 60s?
Yeah, let's look it up real quick. We got
He's
internet.
old
Why
though.
not?
Like, because these books are not, it's not like this is some new thing HBO grabbed. Like, they had been around for a minute, hadn't they?
They have. They've been here for a long time.
Mrs. Sim, but if he dies before he finishes them, I'll be so freaking pissed.
He
Well, you're
is
gonna be
going to
pissed 'cause I don't
die.
think he's
I
gonna finish
guarantee.
it.
I bet $50 right now. This motherfucker's gonna pass away before he finishes another. But yeah, he's 75 years old. Dude.
He's
He was born in
75?
40. Yeah, he's born in 48. He's old as fuck.
He ain't right. You might as well just hang that up. That last book's not
Yeah,
happening.
your boy ain't writing
What's it even
shit.
supposed to be called? It's shit.
Song of Winds of Winter. Winds of Winter.
Yeah, I knew it was something winter, but I couldn't remember what the hell it was. Yeah, that it's not happening. I don't even know how far he's in it, but it ain't happening.
He did say that his favorite Targaryen was Daemon, in case you didn't know that.
I mean, makes sense.
Does make sense. It's also kind of scary.
So
But it makes
what
sense.
we need though is I don't know what you would call it. I'm not even sure where it's at. I don't even know if it has a book. It probably doesn't. But John's parents. You need that whole story.
Oh,
With
you know
the
what? We might get
Baratheons
that.
and what the hell is his name? What's John's dad's name? It was Daenerys' brother.
Shoot. Hold on. I gotta look
that would be a
too.
cool story though. I don't know how long the story is. I guess you could start with that and then go into the Baratheon War, right? Because wasn't that the war with the Targaryens?
One of them. His mom was Lyanna Stark.
Yeah.
And his dad was Rhaegar.
Rhaegar.
Targaryen.
Okay, there we go. Yeah. Who apparently was a singer. He liked to sing. I don't know. I think that would be cool. I would like to see that. If they do any more, whatever. I want that one. That's my
fair.
2 cents that Christian doesn't care about. All right, Christian, keep going. We got sidetracked on Green Men.
All right.
You say Green Men, and I think of Jolly Green Giant.
Good lord. All right. Back in the back. Where you were. Anyway, she's pretty much telling Daemon that he's ready now. He touches the tree. It bleeds the red sap, which also let me know. I said like an episode or two ago that in every episode, Daemon wakes up with blood on his hands. It hasn't been blood this whole time. It's been that red sap from the weirwood tree. So he's been seeing pieces of the future in these dreams and the past, obviously, in these dreams this whole time. So that's kind of cool when it circles back like that. But anyway, he sees a lot of shit. I tried to write it all down, but I also was writing when I was watching it. But he saw Brayden Rivers, which is the Blood Raven or the Three-Eyed Raven that we see from Game of Thrones, the original Three-Eyed Raven. That's who he sees.
Can we talk about how when that happened, I said, what Three-Eyed Raven's that? And Mrs. Sim was like, that's such and such his grandfather. And just straight pulled it out of her ass. And the next question, she was like, I don't know. And I was like, how are you going to know who that character is? But this next question, you're like, I don't know.
Hey, man.
She pulled that out so quick without thinking. She was like, oh, that's blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, damn. Okay. And then the next one's like, what's that? And she was like, oh, I have no clue. I'm like, how are we not going to know? Like, really?
I mean, that's Brayden Rivers, bro, the Three-Eyed Raven. The one that showed Bran how to be the Three-Eyed Raven is it's the same dude.
No. I thought that was like his grandfather or something.
Remember how this shit works with like time travel and stuff? Because he'd be born like 40 years after this story takes place. Then he becomes a Three-Eyed Raven, and he just kind of fucking waits forever in the tree or whatever. Like it's insane. It's insane. I'm pretty yeah, yeah. You made me second guess myself for a second, but no, that's right.
You need a
And
second
the
guess
reason
yourself.
I think the reason why they even showed the three-eyed raven is because he's going to be a character in that show that I was mentioning earlier in the episode, but I'll get back into that. So he sees three-eyed raven. He sees the dead dragons, a bunch of dead dragons. He sees himself getting sucked into water, which is essentially his death. He sees a red comet, which the red comet is supposed to prophesize the prince who was promised. And if you remember, in High Valerian, the prince isn't like it's a unisex word. Like it can mean prince or princess. So that's where the whole Daenerys thing comes in. And you have what else did he see? He sees White Walkers and the who is recast, which is weird. Also sees Danny's three dragon
I
eggs
think
on
he sees his
fire.
death too.
No, I said that he saw his death.
Oh, yeah. Well, I wasn't paying attention.
I see that.
But with
He,
Danny's dragons, do you think he thinks that might not be? Obviously, he doesn't know who the hell that is. Do you think he thinks that's Rhaenyra?
I
As like
think
the
that
chosen, she's gonna be. Do you think he has some kind of like he's misinterpreting it? Because I mean, you never see the face; you just see the white hair from the back.
I mean, I didn't think of it that way because I don't honestly I don't think Damon who it is. He probably thinks one it's Rhaenyra, which I highly doubt he thinks, or two he thinks it's like a future Targaryen that's obviously attached to their bloodline. You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't think he believes it's Rhaenyra just because the way that person looked was a lot younger than how Rhaenyra looks right now. So that's why I said that. But anyway, he sees the eggs on fire. He sees them hatching. He sees Danny coming out of the fire with the three dragon hatchlings. So he sees a lot of stuff. And then you have these sticky notes in order, so I don't mess up what I'm saying. He also see no, that's all he sees. Sorry, Ulf is told. Wait, what? I didn't turn the page the right way. Oh damn! I took this off the wrong thing. Hold
Oh
up.
my god!
My bad, y'all. These are notes from last week.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah, I know, right? All right, here we go. Notes. Back in it. Okay. Now I can move these notes. And all right. We see Rhaenyra. He sees Rhaenyra on the throne, and then he also. This is the part that fucking took me out right here, dude. He sees Rhaenyra on the throne with the crown and everything. Then right after that, Helena shows up, and she says, "You know your part in this story." And I was just like, "Wait, what the hell are? What's happening right now?" Because not only is none of this shit in the books, but like full disclosure, I'm pretty sure in the books, Helena is literally about to die. So like it's weird. It's weird. That part was just very strange for me. But she essentially, it seems like when she was talking to him, she was like talking to him through a dream while she was still in King's Landing. Because right after this, we have the scene with her and Eamon that I'm going to get to here in a second. But it was just trippy as fuck, man. So it's really weird. How is she talking to him? I don't. I hope they explain that, but whatever. It, so we skip to the next scene. Eamon comes to talk to Helena again. He tries to make her ride with him. She refuses. She tells him that she saw him burn Aegon, and he's like, I can be killed for this, and blah blah blah. And she was like, go ahead, it wouldn't make a difference. I've seen your death, all this stuff. And then she starts freaking him out because she pretty much tells him that she's seen him do this to Aegon. She sees that Aegon will also sit on the throne again and he'll be king again. She also says that she's seen Aemon's death. So I'm just like, first off, you just dropped a huge book spoiler in this little dream that doesn't exist in the book. So whatever. But here we are. So there's that. Also, she tells him that he's going to be swallowed up in the God's Eye. which I thought was really cool because if you read the book,
Oh,
you know
that's what I asked
exactly
her. I
what
asked her what the
significance
God's
that
Eye
is.
was, and she was like, I think it's a lake or something. And I was like, how do you not know that, but you know the damn other person?
The God's Eye is the lake that sits between like Heron Hall and King's Landing, I think that's what it is. Yeah, Heron Hall is that big lake you see every time they show an aerial shot of Heron Hall. That's what the God's Eye is. It's a huge, huge lake.
So in other words, he's gonna
And
get
that's
knocked off a dragon probably and go into the lake and die.
yeah, that's where he perishes is there. But we'll get there. We'll get there. Then after that,
Wait, are you saying
um,
this is a
I
dream?
yeah, like it has to be
No.
because she's just straight talking to Damon
No, no, no. When she says the
from
God's Eye to Aemon, they're in King's Landing talking.
no, that's what I said. So it's like she's talking to Eamon, but she's also talking to Damon, like at the same time. It's really weird.
You trying to say she's
That's why
some
I
Aaron
was
Yeager shit right now?
honestly, yes, that's exactly what that reminds me of. That's exactly what that reminds me of.
Which is, God,
Yeah,
dude, that, oh man, that, okay. We're not getting derailed on that.
so good though.
That was man, that was a chef's kiss. That was a nice little piece.
It was. So we already know now from Helena that Aegon's crispy ass is going to be king again. Which, all right, cool. Rhaenyra takes off to
That's hateful.
Harrenhal. She takes Adam with Sea Smoke with her over Jace again, which I already said. In the air, like from the sky, she clocks Damon's giant ass army. I don't know if you remember that part. When she's flying over Harrenhal, she sees the army that he's amassed, and it's pretty fucking big. And then no one bows to her when she walks into the room. So a lot of drama right there. Then Damon walks up, this classic Damon walk, talks to her. She pretty much asks him in front of everybody, like, who do you serve? Like, pretty much being like, are you going to betray me? And then he bends the knee. He bends the fucking knee right there on the spot in front of everybody um, and declares himself for his queen. But then he also starts speaking to her in High Valyrian because he doesn't want everybody to know what they're saying. I didn't write down everything he said except for winter is coming. I thought that was a nice little touch for all the people who watched Game of Thrones. He says, winter is coming with darkness and doom. And then she tells him that you sound like my father, Viserys, which I thought was really cool because Damon has accepted his role. He's also accepted himself and he's accepted his brother. So I thought that was really cool. Then Damon says that he tells his soldiers essentially that they're with Rhaenyra to death or the end of their story, which echoes Helena's words that she said to him during his like vision quest or whatever. And then Rhaenyra says, "You leave me again at your peril," and he says, "I could not. I have already tried, my queen." Pretty much letting her know that like he's already tried to not be with her and betray her essentially, but he can't. Like he belongs with her. In the book, that is very different, but whatever. We'll go for it. We'll let that moment live in our hearts. Um, Lars talks to Lars, excuse me. Corlys talks to Alan, and he's tired of Alan's demeanor. And then Alan, rightfully so, drags Corlys to fucking filth, dude. Like he talks mad shit to Corlys, and I was just like, you know what, Alan? Hell yeah, talk your shit, bro. I felt good. I felt good for him because Corlys is a shitty dad, and he knows he's a shitty dad. His entire family is dead at this point. At least he thinks they're dead, and he's got nothing. And now he's trying to like help Alan. He's trying to help Adam, and they don't want anything to do with him because he ain't shit. So I'm just like, yeah, man, fuck it, fuck him. He sucks. Um, After that, let's see. Alicent shows up to Dragonstone, which echoes when Rhaenyra showed up earlier in the season, King's Landing. She pretty much comes clean. She makes a deal to hand over King's Landing in 3 days because um, Vagar will be gone and Aemon will be gone because they're going to be attacking another place. Harrenhal, actually. They're going to Harrenhal. What else happened? She said that she said that Aegon will bend the knee at first, and then Rhaenyra is pretty much like, good and well, he's not going to bend the knee. And second of all, I have to take his head, or else this doesn't matter. Like, no, I'll have to kill him. And she's like, yeah, I know. So she pretty much says, are you prepared to let me kill your son so that I can take the throne and be where I'm supposed to be? And Alicent doesn't actually say anything, but she gives a quick nod if you're watching really carefully to let Rhaenyra know that she's serious about it because she wants to take Helena and her grandchild that's still alive and just like fuck right off. She wants to escape and just be free, breathe her own air, and just live her own life without being restrained by the people at King's Landing, which I thought was kind of crazy, but whatever. So she cries about it. Rhaenyra cries about it as well because Allison was her best friend until they were adults. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Until she
well,
married her dad, started banging her dad, and become her stepmom.
very true, very weird, and very true. When you, it's so strange, so strange to say out loud. Anyway,
I mean, but it's
this is
honestly not that weird in the world of Targaryens. Things get a lot weirder, and yeah.
they get a lot weirder really fast. This is a major, major departure from the book, just like it was when they showed us Rhaenyra going to King's Landing. Both of these things did not happen at all in the book. These conversations don't exist. They made this up for the show to feed us the drama and to make us feel bad for these characters, even more than we may or may not already. So after that, we see all the characters prepping for war before the season ends. We see Reyna discovering Sheep Stealer.
Who looks
Um,
awesome?
yeah, Sheep Stealer does look great. We see the Hightower army marching north. We see Daeron's dragon, the blue dragon, flying overhead. What's his name? Shoot, what was his dragon's name? I think I wrote it down. What's his name? Um, to Tessarion? I think it's Tessarion is his name.
Duh
Anyway,
or
I'll
the D or V?
Tessarion,
Oh, duh.
Tessarion. Pretty sure, or is it Viserion? Oh, it's
Viserion.
Viserion. I'm sorry, with a V. You're right. It's Viserion.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good God, I'm sleepy, I guess. But yeah, we see his blue dragon. His dragon looks cool as
It
fuck,
does.
my dude. God, that looks sweet. I hope that they upgrade that for the nenext season so it looks even
It's a
better. But
bigger
him having
dragon
that,
too, I think, right? Like it's
no, his dragon is the same size as Jace's dragon.
I thought that was bigger though. I thought one of them had a bigger one. Maybe not.
Nah. Remember his dragon just learned with somebody on it and shit. So his dragon is new as hell. Also, Vermax, yeah, his dragon is the same size as Vermax. He's just bright blue. He just looks cooler than Vermax. If I'm not mistaken, isn't Vermax like kind of red? Isn't he a reddish looking dragon?
Hell, I can't
It doesn't
remember.
matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Anyway, we see the blue dragon flying overhead, which looks cool as shit. We see the Stark army of 1,000 Grey marching through the twins, not to the twins, through the twins. So that means that they're about to be in Harrenhal. So that's awesome. We see Jason Lannister's army. We see Daemon looking over his army. We see Tylan sailing with his army and Lothar. And then we see Alan and Corlys sitting in silence, getting ready to get on their ship, renamed the Queen Who Never Was, so they can go to war. And we see the Hightowers. I'm sorry, we see Otto Hightower being saved from his prison, it looks like. But who saves him is the question, because I don't
And
know.
who
At first, I
imprisoned
thought it
him?
was. I think the person who imprisoned him straight up is Lars. I think Lars imprisoned him because he didn't want him to Aemond. That's what I think, but I could be wrong. But right now, I think it was Lars who did that. Speaking of Lars, we see Lars and Aegon fleeing King's Landing. So what's going to happen with Allison's? And then season two, the season ends with two beautiful shots. One we get is Rhaenyra in that room full of all those like little columns and stuff and books and shit. And then the second one is a really beautiful shot of Allison outside in the fresh air and all that stuff. Like they're like behind the back shots. And then after that shot of both of them, the episode ends. So that's the whole season we've talked about. We're finally finished. I do have some extra little notes I'll read off real quick. First one, Damon, let's see, when he chooses to follow Rhaenyra and declares when he bends the knee and stuff, and they're cheering. You said this earlier, but Alfred Broom like fucking just slips away into the background. Like he's gonna come back and do some fuck shit in the next season. Alicent goes to Dragonstone, not in the book, which I already said. Helena in the book has already killed herself. After the blood and cheese incident goes down, she literally goes insane, and I'm pretty sure like jumps out of a window and kills herself. So like she's not even alive at this point in the book. So that's a major departure. I already said this, but the blood on Damon's hands all season long hasn't been blood. It's been that red sap from the weirwood tree. The Three-Eyed Raven was seen in this episode because he's going to be a character in next year's spin-off show, which is called A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, or The Hedge Knight. That's like the surname for it. So it's got a super long ass title. So it's called A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, The Hedge Knight, because the Hedge Knight is the person that we're following the entire season. When Damon gets his vision, he sees like the dead dragons and shit. I'm like 98% sure that is the second battle of Tumbleton, and that's where we get the death of. Well, I don't know if you want me to tell you that. Let me tell you what dragons die there, or just wait.
I don't know. Do you feel like spoiling?
I mean, I'll spoil it if you're down, but if you're,
I don't know. I don't know. Or do we make the listeners wait?
that's on you, man.
I mean, no. You've already turned me around and made me the villain. You know.
I'll say this.
I feel like I need to quote Batman right now in Dark Knight.
Or it wasn't Batman, it was Harvey Dent. But in the battle, the second battle of
it was Bruce Wayne, wasn't it? Doesn't he tell Gordon? That's why he
Harvey
has to
Dent
run.
says it. Harvey Dent says it first, and that's where Bruce gets it to say
I'm
it at
talking
the end
about
of the
Bruce.
movie. Oh my God. Oh my God. Technically, he's Batman there, not just Bruce. But anyway.
Listen, I called him Batman first, and you had to be all, well, technically, it's Harvey Dent.
Actually. But yeah, the second battle of Tumbleton is where we see the death of some major characters and their dragons, we'll say. Which you saw. But I won't tell you who.
Good.
Hugh. No, wait. I can't tell you that because that's a hardcore spoiler. So I won't say that.
Well, it involves Hugh. We know that.
It does involve Hugh, but that's all you know. The last thing I can say is season 2. This whole season was definitely a giant prelude to season 3, which is where a lot of shit pops off. Which
Didn't
we
say
get
this
some
about?
fucking.
We said the same thing about one where like season 2, it's gonna pop off, and then they didn't pop off.
Which is crazy because.
Do you think they're gonna drag it out with 3 too? They're gonna give us like maybe one battle and then be like, maybe.
No, this is the reason why I'm saying that.
Like, how far are we in the book at this point?
We are more than halfway done because it's not that big.
4 seasons is the max, and like whenever I'm thinking about one book, I don't think we can go past 4, right?
It shouldn't. Like, it's probably going to be 4 seasons. Something is going to happen. We had the first season, which made a lot of sense, and they skipped shit we didn't need. We have this season, which honestly only covers a little piece of it because they added a bunch of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they added a whole lot of shit. Like Allison going to Dragonstone, Rhaenyra going to King's Landing. Those were added. The way that she gets the dragon riders was a little different. Her sending food to people wasn't in the book. Her having this weird relationship with Massaria or whatever, that's not in the book. Like they added a lot of shit, and they took out a character because the character that's supposed to be riding Sheep Stealer, her name is Nettles, and I'm gonna spoil this because they're obviously not doing it. But Nettles in the book starts banging Damon, and that's weird. And also another thing that's not in this show at all. You know Alice Rivers, the fucking witch or whatever.
Yeah.
None of the stuff with Damon happens in the book. None of that's in the book. I'll tell you what does happen though. She starts hooking up with Amond, and that's like his girlfriend. Like they bang all the time. It's like his whole woman is Alice Rivers. So I don't know what they're gonna do with her character next season because it doesn't make sense for her to be like she is now. So I think what they're gonna do is give us more book accurate stuff season 3 and stop it right before we get to the conclusion of how this goes. Because remember, next season we're only getting 8 episodes. We're not getting 10 episodes anymore because Max cut the budget of this. And then also,
Why'd they cut the
I think
budget?
they're gonna they cut the budget because making an episode of Game of Thrones cost so many $1 million, and they were like, nah.
I mean, they make their money back.
They do make their money back, but they don't want to spend their money to make them. Even though there's like 40 Game of Thrones games, merchandise is everywhere.
I mean,
You
every
can't go
episode
any.
has the Conquest game being pushed that people are, I'm sure,
Yeah,
downloading like crazy.
yeah. Which I mean, I even downloaded the game. I was
Yeah,
playing it
there we
earlier
go.
today. Yep. Where is it? Well, I was playing it at some point today. I don't play it a lot though. I'm not really. I don't easy to jump into it.
You just cut
Some
out for that
characters you
whole
recognize.
section. You said I don't, and then we didn't hear anything until just now.
It wasn't important. I don't play mobile games that much. So that's all
I
I'm
really
saying.
don't either, though. I don't really play a lot of mobile games.
It's just not my jam. But anyway, y'all, that's all I got. It's been real. Like I did enjoy the season. I'm excited for season 3. I want to see what they take in and put out. So before we get to season 3, though, next year we're going to be watching the Hedge Knight show, which I just mentioned. So I hope you're ready to jump into a whole nother Game of Thrones spinoff next year.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, any Game of Thrones is good. Hopefully, hopefully it's good.
Yeah, I think what's going to happen is here's the thing.
Where is
We're
this
getting
coming from? Where's the Hedge Knight
the
being
Hedge
pulled from?
Knight. It's coming from oh shit, what's that book called? Jesus Christ. Hold on. I wrote this down and didn't think we were going to talk about it, so hold on. I got you.
Failure, Christian.
I really am. I really am. I messed up. I think it's called the Hedge Knight. I might be wrong.
What is it in though? Is it like a prequel, like this, like House of the Dragon?
Yeah, it's just a side story that he wrote. He wrote a whole lot of Game of Thrones shit. He's written a bunch of Game of Thrones stuff, but with like actual Game of Thrones. By the time the show started popping off, he had finished writing last book that he wrote, and then the show caught up. He never finished writing the stuff. So yeah, he's written a bunch of offshoots of Game of Thrones. There's a lot of them, dude. He's written the Hedge Knight is. I'm pretty sure that story is literally called the Hedge Knight. To be honest with you, it's
I don't
like,
think. I think the Snow
damn it.
thing is canceled, like the Jon Snow sequel.
Yeah, that got canceled.
Which
They do
sucks.
have an animated series coming out that's supposed to be Corliss, I think, when he was younger.
Hmm. Gonna grab all that cash, the Game of Thrones cash now.
Oh, 100%, dude. 100%. Let's see. They have. Let me see. Game of
They
Thrones,
should do
Clash of
a Aegon the
Kings,
Conqueror. That'd be cool to see.
Storm of Swords, A Feast for Crows, uh, Fever Dream, Dance of Dragons, Dream Songs, The Ice Dragon, Winds of Winter, which I don't think is done.
No.
and Fire and Blood, which is what we're essentially watching right now. Then he has some other shit too. Game of Thrones proper is like 6 books. Then he's got Fire and Blood. Then he's got damn it, what's the other one? I can't remember, dude. I'm also trying to look it up because most things on Google are just going to give you the regular Game of Thrones series, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm tired and lazy and I don't.
Well, I'm looking.
But yeah, I know the Hedge Knight is its own thing. It's the story. So the Hedge Knight story is it's the story of what's his name? Jesus Christ, the super tall guy. Fuck, I can't believe I can't remember his name right now. It's making me mad.
Slender Man.
Duncan something. I almost said
Oh, the dude
Idaho
that
like a
Ned
fool.
fights?
No, 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 no. Ah, jeez, what's his freaking name?
I thought Ned fought somebody named Duncan at the tower.
I think I might be saying his name wrong. Um, God, why is this happening right now? Every time you ask me a question, I'm like, yeah, I got the answer, and then I forget the information, and I just look stupid. I don't know why that's happening.
Because you hate
What's
us.
his freaking name? I think his name might just be Dunk. His name is Dunk, and he has a squire. Sir, no, no, no. It is Sir Dunk. Sir Duncan the Tall is his name. Jesus Christ, his name is Sir Duncan the Tall. They call him Dunk in the story, and he's tall as shit. Like he's how tall is he? He's like 8 something feet tall. He's tall as hell. And then you have Egg in the story, and we heard about Egg in Game of Thrones. Remember when the Maester from the Wall passed away, the super old dude, and John found out he was a Targaryen, and he started talking about his brother Egg. Like that's the character that we're following, his brother. Jesus Christ. Um, Essentially, Egg's another Targaryen. Like we're Targaryens are everywhere, all up in this story, dude. All up in this story.
So we're going to have a super tall knight and a Targaryen.
Mm-hmm.
So who are we following? The Targaryen or the
Yeah,
super tall knight?
the Tall Knight is who we're following primarily because that's the character that we're talking. He was mentioned in Game of Thrones and he said Sir Duncan the Tall. He talked about how many pages he had dedicated to him, and then Jamie was like, "Yeah, he was apparently a really cool guy or whatever." But they talked about him in Game of Thrones proper. He had like a little that was his cameo, if you will. But those stories pretty much talk about Dunk and Egg uh, leaving the Sept after Winterfell, seeking Lord, what's his name, Baron Stark, and some Greyjoy raids. But Dunk becomes a knight like right before the person who knighted him he dies. Right after making Dunk an actual knight, so he takes the place of somebody to fight in a tournament, and nobody believes him because he doesn't have any actual documentation that he got made a knight. So the only way that he could fight in that tournament is by impersonating somebody. But Dunk ended up being a badass and won. Like it's a whole bunch of shit going on in that. Um, but it's literally coming out next year, so I don't want to ruin the whole thing for you right now because we're about to watch it. But it's gonna be cool. I didn't read all of that story though, so I won't know all the information that I know for these stories. I'm gonna have to find it online for free and like read it because I know it's not that long, but I haven't read it all, and I don't want to get like trying to recount what's going on. But I'm definitely gonna read it because honestly, I probably could find a cheap copy of it for like $8 if I look. But, I'm definitely gonna read it. Definitely gonna read it. Anyway, that's for next year. We got other stuff to talk about on the new episodes of this podcast coming up. But until then, that's all I've got. My voice is fried. I've been talking long enough, and I need to go take a shower after we record. Full disclosure. So we'll
I
wrap
don't know
it up,
what
I
you just
guess.
said, but that's it for Game of Thrones. House of Dragon is wrapped for this year. more Game of Thrones next year, apparently, and then probably following year would probably be House of Dragons season 3, I would imagine.
Yes, it's Maester Aemon. Thank you, Mrs. I could not think of his name. Maester Aemon's brother. That's who we're talking about. Because Aemon is obviously a Targaryen. That's a Targaryen name. His brother is who we're following in this because he's a squire in this book. So that's who we're following. Thank you so much. I could not remember Maester Aemon to save my life, and he was like legitimately one of the cooler characters in Game of Thrones. Oh, I feel so much better. Thank you so much.
Are you good? Are you okay?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's Christian's very long book report on Game of Thrones. Has come to a conclusion. Let us know what you thought about Game of Thrones, or kind of like House of the Dragon. I mean, it's Game of Thrones, same thing. It's all in the same universe, world, whatever. Let us know what you thought about season 2, what you liked, what you didn't like, what you're looking forward to. And if you're looking forward to, what the hell is it called? The what night?
Hedge night.
Hedge. Like a hedge fund, but the hedge night. The
Actually,
night
yeah.
that cuts your hedges.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Let us know if you're excited for it. But until then, it is time that we
pass the whiskey.
That's right. Get your
Whiskey.
As we're going into this week's last call question, and I have not seen Jordan this episode. So are we in the clear of Jordan?
I think so.
Oh no. So what do we have for last call this week?
You should have saved your question, like which house would you want to believe? That would have been a great last call.
I mean, we could still do something. We should do something Game of Thrones oriented.
What house would you not want to belong to? That's a better question. Out of all the houses, this one would be the worst.
Ooh. Targaryen, because they're gone.
I mean, yeah, but you would have lived a pretty good life if you were.
Depends on the time period.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I don't know. What time period are we doing this? Where are we setting it?
I mean, let's just.
Because, I mean, if you say House of Dragons, probably obviously the strongest house is Targaryen, so you're going to be feared. But if you go to Game of Thrones, there's no Targaryens really anywhere to establish anything.
There are Targaryens, and there are Targaryen bastards, so there still are people that can ride dragons and shit. There's just not any dragons really until today.
So they've lost their power, because now there's people.
I mean, mostly, but it only takes one dragon to win. With no dragons, one dragon versus people is always going to win. That's all I'm saying. They're like nuclear bombs. So if you have a dragon, just one dragon, it could be a small
Unless you got
dragon.
what's his face that comes up with the damn gigantic like bow thing that punctures a dragon.
Oh, the scorpions? What you talking about?
Yeah, that's on the ships and stuff and everything where they're like shooting the dragons.
Yeah, those are called scorpions.
Yeah, I mean, Mrs. Sin says, "Would you rather be put to death by the mountain or dragon fire?" Ooh.
Oh God! Oh my God! That's terrible. There's no good answer for that. I mean, is the mountain just gonna bash my head in one good time and kill me?
Probably not.
Think about it.
I mean, he might do other things to you. You never know.
I don't think he'd do anything to me other than just brutally kill me. I would hope, actually.
Yeah, see, now your question, you're like, I don't know. Yeah, there's no telling Mountain to do as he pleases. See, that's what I'm saying. I think, can I like slit my own throat after the dragon, like the whatchamacallits do?
Nah. You gotta
actually burn? Man.
I think I might have to go with the mountain, bro. Burning to death is the worst way to go.
I mean, ooh.
I know dragon fire is supposed to be hella hot, but like, I don't know how long you burn before you die. Because look at Aegon for it. Because if they did him book accurate, he would have been melted, like fused with his armor. So nah.
Hmm. What house do you not want to be in?
What house do I? Of the great houses, probably. Um. Oh man,
Greyjoy,
that's a
Mrs. Sin
great
says.
question.
What's Frey? I feel like Frey is a pretty sucky house.
Well, Frey isn't a great house. I'm thinking of the
Oh,
great.
well,
My
excuse
fault.
the hell out of me. Give me the great
You're
houses
good,
then. I'll
man.
tell you which one.
So the great houses there's the Targaryens, the Starks, the Lannisters, the Aarons for the Eyrie, the Tullys, the Greyjoys, the Baratheons, Tyrells, and the Martells.
Tully or Greyjoy, probably.
For me, probably Greyjoy, just because that seems like it sucks real bad.
Tully doesn't exactly look the best either.
Yeah, but I mean, being a Greyjoy, like they literally will throw your ass into the ocean and watch you drown. You know what I'm saying? That's too much.
They do. What is the
Totally.
thing with the drown god? It's like if you pretty much drown and come back to life, then you're worthy. What was that whole? Remember what I'm talking about? I was like, what?
I know
Who
what
the
you're talking
hell come up
about,
with this
and
idea?
yeah,
Let's drown real quick
I'm
and see
not
if we can
down.
survive.
I am not down.
Yeah, I think those
Not
are the
down
weaker.
to
Like the
clown.
other, what you said, Martell and all them.
Tyrells, yeah,
Tyrell, they're rich.
they are
Lannister,
rich.
I don't care for Lannister. I don't think there's. I know Jamie had his redemption, but the Lannisters all well. Tyrion's the exception to me. I love Tyrion.
Except for in the book, he's a piece of shit in the book.
Look, no, you can't talk shit about Tyrion because you like Bill. I don't want to hear it out of you.
Oh God, oh my God.
Cannot.
I could defend this if I needed to, but I need to get off.
You
So
can't defend it. Bill sucks. Miss Sin read the books and she even said Bill sucks. So that means Bill sucks. End of story. Bill sucks.
I haven't read the book, so I don't know.
I mean, you're gonna take her away from it, and Bill sucks.
I'll read them eventually.
I mean, he literally does suck because he's a vampire, but he sucks other than just sucking.
My God.
When Wolfman's next year, right? On Supernatural stuff.
Supposed to be, but I haven't heard any news.
What about is Nosferatu end of this year? It's coming
Yeah,
up.
Nosferatu is Christmas.
Oh, I gotta wait till Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that just sucks. Way to ruin my everything. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it for this episode of Sippin' With Sin. I hope you enjoyed it. It has been another back-to-back 2-hour episodes. Jesus, that's a lot of talking, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope you're enjoying it. Christian did a lot of notes, so give him a hiney touch. Give him a little pat on the tookish, just a little tap. Let him know you appreciate it. But new episodes come out every Wednesday, 8 a.m. Central Time on Apple and Spotify. That's right, 8 a.m. every Wednesday and other audio places that I'm not going to name, but just 8 a.m. Sippin' With Sin, Wednesdays, Central Time. And then the video version where you can see our lovely faces every Wednesday, 8 a.m. also Central Time on my YouTube, youtube.com/IamSinister. Go thumbs up, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. Go show it love because it helps us a ton, and we greatly appreciate it. Help the podcast grow. Share it with a friend. You can find Sippin' With Sin on the socials, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Facebook. Yeah, all that stuff. At Sippin' With Sin, SIPPIN with Sin. Go drop a follow and say hello. We would greatly, greatly appreciate it. You can find us live streaming these episodes every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time on Kick, kick.com/IamSinister. Come drop your last call question for a chance to get featured on the episode. Come say hi. Come listen live. Watch the shenanigans because there's always shenanigans before and after the episode. So come watch them and watch during. Yeah. You can find me on my socials, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, IamSinister TV. You can find me on twitch.tv/IamSinister TV. And you can find me on YouTube at youtube.com/IamSinister. And you can find me live streaming on Kick, kick.com/IamSinister. And then, of course, my other podcast, Behind the Vocals, comes out every Friday, 8 a.m. Central Time. Apple, Spotify, all the same stuff. And on my YouTube, youtube.com/IamSinister. You can go check that out. And then I record those episodes sporadically through the week whenever we can and whenever the people line up. But that's all for my stuff. Christian, where can the lovely folks find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram, Venom Inc., all one word. You can find me on my TikTok, which is my first and last name, Christian Vincent. That's the only two places you guys can find me because, contrary to popular belief, I don't like social media that much.
I was gonna say something mean, but I'm just gonna not because Christian's already made me the villain, and I'm not gonna make myself more of a villain. But that's gonna do it for this episode. We appreciate you all being here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out with us. I hope you enjoyed it. And it's that time of the evening where you don't have to go home, but you gotta get the hell up out of here. It's time for Christian to shut it down for the evening.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Sippin With Sin. We've been doing this for 100 episodes, and we appreciate you. We appreciate your Patreon, and it's awesome. I just got to say one other thing. You guys keep listening to us go on these rants, talk about nerdy stuff, and you keep asking questions. That's why we keep doing it, because you guys keep coming back for more. Thank you again. I'm going to leave you guys with 3 words. 3 words I'll leave you with every episode. If you've heard these words before, say them with me. If you haven't heard them before, listen very carefully, because they might just save your life. Those words are as follows. Don't get gutted.
See you guys next week.